You're sitting in the open door of a Huey helicopter. Your feet are hanging out into nothing. Below you, the jungle is rushing past at 100 feet. Your M60 machine gun is mounted in front of you, loaded, ready. Your monkey harness, a canvas strap, is the only thing keeping you from falling out. And you know something that the pilots don't fully understand, something that the infantry in the back doesn't realize. When the enemy opens fire on this helicopter, they're aiming at you first. You're the most visible target, the most exposed, the biggest threat to them. You're sitting in an open door with no armor, no protection, just you and your gun, and the certainty that when bullets start flying, you'll be the first one they try to kill. This is what it meant to be a door gunner in Vietnam. And this is why door gunners had one of the highest casualty rates of anyone in the war. This is about the guys who sat in the open doors of helicopters with machine guns, the soldiers who were completely exposed to enemy fire every single mission, who protected the aircraft and everyone in it with nothing protecting themselves, who knew that being a door gunner meant accepting that you were a target, that you were vulnerable, that every mission could be your last, and who did it anyway because that's what the job required. This is their story, and it's one of the most dangerous jobs in the most dangerous war. Let me start with the position itself. The UH-1 Huey had two side doors, port and starboard, left and right. At each door sat a door gunner with an M60 machine gun. Your job was simple in concept, but terrifying in execution. Provide defensive and offensive fire. Protect the helicopter. Protect the crew. Protect the soldiers being transported. Suppress enemy positions during insertions and extractions. You were the eyes and the firepower that kept everyone alive. But here's the reality. You were sitting in an open door, completely exposed. Your upper body was outside the aircraft. The wind was blasting your face. Your weapon was visible to everyone on the ground. And when the enemy saw a Huey, they looked for the door gunners first, because you were the immediate threat. You were the one who could kill them, so you were the one they tried to kill first. Take out the door gunners and the helicopter becomes vulnerable. The enemy understood this, and they acted on it. Your position made you an easy target. You couldn't hide, couldn't take cover. You were just sitting there in the open door, silhouetted against the sky, completely visible. The enemy could see you from hundreds of yards away, could aim at you, could track you, could time their shots for when you were most exposed. And there was nothing you could do about it, except sit there and accept it. Because moving inside meant abandoning your weapon, meant abandoning your job, meant the helicopter lost its primary defense. The monkey harness was supposed to keep you safe. It was a canvas strap system that connected to the helicopter. If you fell or got knocked out of the door, the harness would catch you. In theory. In practice, the harness was thin canvas, strong enough to hold your weight under normal circumstances, but not designed for combat. If a bullet hit you and knocked you backward, the harness might hold, or it might not. If the helicopter took a hard maneuver and you got thrown around, the harness might keep you inside, or you might slip through. You were trusting your life to canvas straps while people shot at you. The M60 machine gun was your weapon. 23 pounds of belt-fed firepower, effective range over 1,000 yards, rate of fire up to 550 rounds per minute. It could shred enemy positions, could suppress an entire tree line, could make the enemy keep their heads down long enough for the helicopter to land or take off. But it was also a target marker. When you opened fire, the enemy knew exactly where you were. The muzzle flash, the tracer rounds, the sound, everything pointed directly at you. You were announcing your position with every burst, and the enemy would aim at that position and fire back. Your first mission is a combat assault, inserting infantry into a landing zone. The helicopter is loaded with 8 soldiers sitting on the floor behind you. They're nervous. You can see it in their faces. But you're nervous too. This is your first time, your first real mission. All the training is over. This is real. The enemy is down there somewhere, and soon you're gonna find out if you can actually do this job. The flight out is surreal. You're sitting in the open door, watching the jungle pass beneath you. It's beautiful in a way. Green, dense, endless. But somewhere in that jungle are people who want to kill you. People who are waiting for your helicopter to arrive. People who have weapons aimed at the sky. You grip your M60 tighter, check it for the 5th time. Make sure it's ready. Make sure you're ready. Your crew chief taps your shoulder, holds up 5 fingers. 5 minutes to the landing zone. Your heart starts pounding. Your breathing gets faster. You force yourself to slow it down. Stay calm. Stay focused. You've trained for this. You know what to do. Just follow your training. 3 minutes. The pilot's voice comes through your headset. LZ is hot. Expect contact on approach. Hot LZ. That means enemy is there. That means they're going to shoot at you. Your hands start shaking. You grip the M60 harder to steady them. You scan the jungle below, looking for threats, looking for muzzle flashes, looking for anything that indicates enemy presence. 1 minute. You can see the landing zone now, a clearing in the jungle, smoke marking the position. And you can see tracers, green tracers coming up from the tree line. Enemy fire. They're already shooting. At you, at your helicopter. You watch the tracers arc up. Some pass close, some pass wide, but they're shooting at you. Your training kicks in. You open fire. The M60 roars to life. The recoil pushes against your shoulder. Brass casings are flying everywhere. You're aiming at the tree line, at the source of the enemy fire, walking your rounds into the target area. You see impacts, see vegetation being shredded. You don't know if you're hitting anyone, but you're suppressing them, making them take cover. That's your job. The helicopter is descending. You're still firing. The enemy is still firing. You hear impacts, bullets hitting the helicopter, that distinctive metallic sound. Some are hitting close to you. You see a hole appear in the aircraft skin 2 feet from your head. The bullet passed right by you, missed you by inches. You keep firing. Can't think about that. Can't think about how close that was. Just keep the gun firing. The helicopter touches down. The infantry soldiers jump out. You're providing covering fire, hosing down the tree line, trying to keep the enemy suppressed while the troops get to cover. 30 seconds on the ground feels like 30 minutes. You're completely exposed. The enemy can see you clearly now, can aim carefully. You keep firing, keep moving your fire, keep being unpredictable. The pilot pulls power, the helicopter lifts off. You're climbing, getting away from the ground fire, but you're still taking hits. More impacts, more holes appearing in the aircraft. You're still firing, still suppressing. And then you clear the tree line. You're above the jungle. The enemy fire decreases. You stop firing, check your weapon, check your ammunition. You're okay. You're alive. You survived your first hot LZ. But your hands won't stop shaking. The adrenaline is overwhelming. You're breathing hard, sweating even though the wind is cold at altitude. You just experienced combat, just got shot at, just shot back, just almost died. And you have to do this again, multiple times today, every day, for your entire tour. The crew chief looks at you, gives you a thumbs up. You survived. You did your job. You're a door gunner now, not a trainee, not a new guy. You've been in combat. You've been shot at and you kept functioning. That's what matters. Over the next weeks, you do this repeatedly. Insertion after insertion, extraction after extraction. Some LZs are cold, no enemy fire. You sit there, watching, ready, but nothing happens. These are the boring missions, the lucky missions, but they're rare. Most LZs are hot. Most missions involve enemy fire. Most days you're shooting and being shot at. You learn things. You learn to spot enemy positions before they open fire. Small details, disturbed vegetation, unnatural shadows, movement. You develop instincts, a feeling when something's wrong, when the enemy is there. These instincts save your life more than once. You learn to control your fear. The first few missions, you're terrified, shaking, barely able to function. But you can't maintain that level of fear. Your body adapts. The fear becomes background noise, always there, but manageable. You learn to operate through it, to function despite it. You learn that being a door gunner means accepting constant danger. You're the most exposed person on the helicopter. The enemy knows it, you know it. Every mission is Russian roulette. Sometimes the enemy misses, sometimes they don't. You've seen door gunners get hit, seen them killed, seen the helicopter land and there's blood everywhere, and the door gunner is dead or dying. You know that could be you. Any mission, any time. One mission stands out, a medevac, picking up wounded from a hot LZ. You're approaching and the fire is intense, heavier than anything you've experienced. Tracers everywhere. The helicopter is getting hit constantly. You're firing back, trying to suppress them, but there are too many, too much fire.
You feel something hit your leg, hard, like someone punched you. You look down, there's blood, your blood. You've been shot. The bullet went through your calf. You can see the entry wound, see the blood, but there's no exit wound. The bullet is still in there. The pain hits, incredible pain, burning, throbbing. You want to scream, but you don't. You keep your hand on the M60, keep firing, because the mission isn't over. The wounded aren't loaded yet. You have to keep providing cover. Your crew chief sees you're hit, yells at you to get back inside, but you shake your head, keep firing. The wounded are loading, almost done, just a few more seconds. You can hold for a few more seconds. The pain is overwhelming, but you hold. Keep the gun firing, keep the enemy suppressed. The last wounded soldier is loaded. The helicopter lifts off. Now you can stop. Now you can deal with the wound. Your crew chief is already there, applying pressure, calling for the medic. You're going into shock. Your vision is narrowing. Your hearing is muffled, but you're alive. The bullet hit your leg instead of your chest, missed the bone, missed the artery. You're lucky. They medevac you to a field hospital, patch you up, remove the bullet, give you antibiotics and pain medication, tell you you'll be fine, you'll heal, you'll be back flying in a few weeks. And part of you is relieved. You get a break, a few weeks away from the door gun, away from being a target. But another part of you feels guilty. Your crew is still flying, still doing missions, and you're not there. You're not protecting them. 6 weeks later, you're back in the door, back on the gun. Your leg has healed, mostly. Still hurts when the weather changes, but you can function, can do the job. Your crew is glad to see you. They had a replacement door gunner while you were gone. Good guy, competent, but he wasn't you. The crew is back together now, back to full strength.
You do more missions, hundreds of them. You lose count. Each one blends into the next. Some are quiet, some are hell. You keep surviving, keep beating the odds, keep being lucky. Because that's what it takes to survive as a door gunner. Skill and luck. And you have both. For now. You see friends die. Other door gunners. Some from your unit, some from other units. You hear the stories. Direct hit from an RPG, sniper shot, machine gun burst. Every door gunner's nightmare. You go to their memorials, honor them. And then you get back in the door, back on the gun. Because someone has to do it. Because soldiers on the ground need air support, need protection, need door gunners willing to sit in an open door and shoot back. The toll is physical and psychological. Your hearing is destroyed. The constant noise of the M60, the rotor wash, the explosions, your ears ring constantly, tinnitus that will never go away. Your shoulder is damaged from the recoil, chronic pain that worsens with age. Your hands shake sometimes, from muscle memory, from stress, from everything.
But you also have pride. You were a door gunner. You did one of the most dangerous jobs in the war. You protected your crew, protected countless soldiers, saved lives with your covering fire. You were the first target, the most exposed, the most vulnerable, and you survived. That means something. That's worth something. You're a Huey door gunner. You sit in an open door with an M60 machine gun and nothing protecting you except a canvas strap. The enemy sees you first, aims at you first, shoots at you first. You're the primary target on every mission, and you know this. You accept this, because that's the job, because the helicopter needs you, because the crew depends on you, because soldiers on the ground need someone willing to sit in that door and fire that gun even when it means making yourself a target. You're exposed, you're vulnerable, you're the first one they try to kill, but you're also the shield, the protector, the door gunner. And that job, as terrifying and dangerous as it is something you'll carry with pride for the rest of your life.